about it when the situation comes up, but if Ambrosia can win that pistol round, get their economy in a good place to get an operator early, that's when you can really take over on defense, when you're running this deadlock, when you're running the Yoru.
Seen Akrian with some really nice early grab nets, playing around like the one ways at A main or trying to get early B main presence with that ability. Something that was a standout for sure from Ambrosia. Something that a team like Envy's pretty liable to run straight into. Just like this, Kane immediately bursts into A main, and Ambrosia playing off the side here. This is very odd for a pistol round setup, and it feels very intentional. Cliff is able at least to meet Inspire over here towards Cubby, and Inspire is going to struggle to get in here. Ambrosia just playing for the retake on A side.
And we'll see if they try to root him out of that Cubby on catwalk. He has decided to push up. He's going to get wrapped by Akrian in the double face. Dealt with nicely by Ambrosia. Now they have the man advantage for this retake, and they're going to send Akrian flanking all the way through spawn.
It's like Inspire was just waiting for something to happen. Ambrosia had plenty of time to play that pincer towards him.
And they did just get their recon back.
I like that. Very cute stuff. With the TP back from Glyph, extra down to 49. Satellite able to pick him apart. Surgical stuff here from Ambrosia. Nicely done. Emerged from an important pistol round here on this defense side. Two players still in the game, giving up that A side entirely, only to snap back in and have it for themselves.
And they needed that win desperately. Their playoff run on the line right now on this map. Grand finals on the line. No one expected this team to be here after having to remain in the league via the promotion relegation tournament. They make roster changes, and then they just surge all the way to the top of the scene. Up against an Envy team that we thought would be here back in stage 1, where they finished in that lower bracket. Round 2 was a really unexpected fall off for them in the playoffs. So now they've just come right back, being in a position that we thought that they would be in heading into 2025. Everything on the line here for Ambrosia.
Kane had someone buy him a Stinger. He is full armor Stinger this round. Satellite's about to get busy. Far too much than he can handle. Now a Guardian's going to get picked up, handed over. Big opening here for Envy. Mid control secured. Now with some options. John Nex didn't really want to sit and wait and anchor on the side, so Island's able to find him out in the open. Sharp shooting from Welly. Kane's in an awkward spot now and isn't in an effective range to make use of the Stinger. And honestly, Envy have really been slowed up on Speedway, ironically. Extra and Ion hope for a high-low setup, but Welly just ducks out of the line of fire. Good pressure being put down by Envy, but eventually Welly is just far too dependable there from Boathouse.
Yeah, you've got to expect that when Envy are going to be on that second round eco, that Kane will be taking point with a Stinger. They do that constantly. Now, when we're on this Ascent map and we're talking about Ambrosia, you have to pay a lot of attention to Welly. His anchoring on B is rock solid. It has been on their last couple outings. His util on this map is so solid. He's a really dynamic player here. He absolutely can be the star for Ambrosia. Can be the reason that they take this map and continue the series.
He takes that early Odin pickup onto this B site. It's generally a real nuisance. Can play alongside Inspire to make sure he's getting people lit by trap wires, cams, or recon bolts.
All that damage that was done. It does have Ambrosia on a pretty weak buy here. This is not great for their bonus.
I've seen all of this though. All of it. Welly avoids the paranoia by playing back a little bit further. A slight off angle that he tries to move up into, but he's down. Poppin finds him immediately. A little bit of an open push there for Kane Zero, but he's got a decent weapon for it in fairness. Shondex got lit. And now Satellite has to play from inside this smoke. Feels like one and done. Not even that. It's a classic from Exa that ends him.
One enemy remaining.
Already Envy. This will be a massive attack side round to take, especially after making this a very strained bonus for Ambrosia.
Yeah, they needed this one bad, Envy. And they've got it on all accounts. Poppin should be able to recover a Guardian somewhere, I believe, once Glyph is dealt with here.
Steps Glyph and down he gets Sat. Rifle feeded over to the enemy. And that's Envy going up against Ambrosia's bonus in an admirable fashion. Some pretty ridiculous picks as they get into market with a gate crash. Shondex sees it all, but it doesn't seem to matter. Ambrosia can't game plan against it on the fly, but here's Welly with that Odin in hand already.
And Welly had saved up a ton of cash to be able to drop an operator as well over to Satellite. So this is the exact setup that they want as far as the weaponry. This is what Ambrosia have been able to dominate with. Getting Shondex trips all over that B site, playing with Welly with the Odin.
They're fighting this. Oh, extra. King Gatecrash sprayed out.
Pure confidence.
Blocking movement.
And this is it. Envy will just challenge that one way. Conditioning.
Welly is being dragged to mid right now as well. Actually, matter of fact, all the way over towards A because of that fight. Now this Execute is going to come in and all the pressure is going to be on Shondex to need to get two in this situation.
It might be that Ambrosia, because they've thrown that barrier mesh there on A main, they actually can't manually check that for themselves. They don't know where Envy are. And this is scary stuff. Welly, that's fine popping. But Shondex has to play pretty safe, pretty secure now. Buy a little bit of time for those reinforcements to come. Off angle, catches Kane, but he is baited out into the open, and Ion deals with him. That's his 7th kill of the game already. Ion picking up where he left off on Sunset. We had a stunning showing on the Clo. Now Envy, God, this would be massive, huge investment here for Ambrosia. So, like, genuinely devastating. A round that's worth 2 for the attackers if they can land the plane now. And Welly's forced to get moving, get active now with this Odin. And he gets brought down, sprayed through the wall. Satellite finds a decent timing though when Kane is out of the game. Still 2 Envy defenders though standing. This is going to be a costly round for Ambrosia each way. They slice him. And there's Satellite coming online just when he's needed.
Those shots are so crisp from Satellite. So controlled, but so fast. That was excellent from him. And they're able to recover the 2 most expensive weapons as well to bring those into the next round. I mean, that looked like a situation where Ambrosia, if they couldn't get something done early, might have just wanted to save in that 3 versus 4. Do you really want to throw away the Odin and the AWP already? And Welly makes that rotate over towards the A side, but when a hit comes in, is still within range to get a great Hunter's Fury to support. Satellite steps up.
Hey, we've got Odin still active for Ambrosia. Envy get very, very close. It would have been a very different looking game, I think, were they to win that round. He can still buy pretty well. Now, Poppin's got a Hunter's Fury of his own, maybe return the favor as well. He sniped him out early in that previous round.
Envy, much like the last round, want to work both sides of the map, using that gate crash over towards the B side after Exeter grabs the orb in A main. I'm going to assume they're trying to round the world orb this so he can have the dimensional drift by getting him on the B main as well. This is a crazy push from Satellite. He is so deep, and you can see Exeter is so scared to cross right now, and he's punished for it.
For a second, I think he considers that the off angle might be picked up. Oh, Satellite, this is a freebie, surely. Okay, Willie just going to try and light the attackers now as they're midway through. Door. No, but he's on the right side of it. No! No! Satellite flashes into him. And Envy are caught completely off guard. Ion, that is a stunning little 3-piece, but would have had to be a clean ace in order to take the round away. Tough business. Ambrosia, 4 defense side rounds already clocked in.
Made me feel like if he had a couple more bullets, he would have gotten that 4th on the board as well. That was bold from Satellite to just creep outdoor, just staying within that dark cover, and then Glyphson's in the perfect paranoia to supplement that decision for him to then further push for the short. It was pretty sick. I mean, this here was also pivotal. You could see that Exeter, he knew that they had no control over mid or that sightline. He knew he was susceptible to that.
That was cinema. The Glyph paranoia timing. Envy were completely shell-shocked by that. So, timeout time it is. This is the kind of round where you have dimensional drift, you also have this Hunter's Fury, so no shortage of stuff to work with.
Ambrosia have needed Satellite to start playing like this. He's had a couple rounds here and there, but I don't think he's been as much of a factor as he was in that BO5 yesterday, for example, where he was really, putting pressure on Burger Boys throughout that entire series. Top fragging multiple maps, but this is the first one against Envy today where he has been the primary factor for Ambrosia's success.
Realistically, Envy need a game plan into top Odin rounds of Ambrosia. Okay, wow. Barrier thrown down off the rip here. Pretty devastating for Envy now as they've kind of got to reveal themselves. Kane over the top. Try as he might, Acreon is able to whip around and deal with him. Blown shot. Here comes an Al thrown in. A little bit awkward to play this angle with your satellite, but Glyph has got his off angle too. Only popping down to find one. And Ion, who's had a great game so far, already 11 kills. Can't do enough in that round. Can't do anything at all. Now we come back around to Envy. I start to move in Kane Zero's direction. He talked up his jet performance most recently. He's been very, very good, even if in the past maybe it's been less exciting. But Ambrosia are well and truly rolling.
Yeah, there was a period of time earlier this year where there was a common enough sentiment that Kane was just essentially like an ISO one trick, and he wasn't finding the same success on Jet. Well, the last outing for Kane's Jet was one of those outrageous Jet performances that we've seen in a minute. That was on defense, though, and the desk were touching on how that's been the better side. Satellite opportunity, but has to get away.
The Fury pop and found Welly. That was one of the anchoring players on the site, and now Extra is unchallenged here. I like the idea from Shondex. Try and help out, but I think he's missed his window. Now he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Hitting, I think, on switch. I just can't extract himself from this situation. Okay, well, Satellite's going to be able to chime in. The map essentially flipped now as the defenders are playing from B main, and here's Kane. Oh, that's a nice one. And God, they needed him to get involved. John Satellite with an op. Kane going to walk through the double cloud burst to get in on the site. And so we have 3 entrenched defenders. Satellite says even with our money situation, this would be a waste to try and go for it.
It is absolutely just time to save. Wouldn't be mad at collecting a little kill on an Envy player that's retreating either, given that their economy is in a pretty terrible situation still. More important that he doesn't give up this op, though, of course. We were just speaking of Kane, and then he gives you some very Kane-like shots.
I mean, this is not really the round where Envy can kind of afford to throw weapons away. I don't know where Satellite is. On the corner with the shorty. What does he find here? He's going to lose it. He's lost the op. That's been recovered now by Envy. Or perhaps not. But either way, yeah, Kane's got it in hand. Devastating for Ambrosia.
They want to op on attack. And now I do want to touch on again, which I said was mentioned by the desk. It's just the fact that this Envy team has found way more success on defense playing this map. So it's a question of how many rounds do they need to go on a run on defense and win this out when they're on attack? How many are actually required of them here? And this is one that could be worth 2. This can get them to 4 if they win this out. Kane also just more than happy to pick up this op, given the fact that he's got the Blade Storm at his disposal too.
I mean, they beat Winthrop. They got 3 attack side rounds. They beat TSM. They got 5. Okay, there's an attack side up going to work. Satellite still wanted to post up in mid. Punish for it. And you've got to some degree expect that, but maybe he thought Kane would be somewhere else.
Yeah, now, Ambrosia, they don't really have to give up their positions as far as where the other players were. They do have a cam that's watching, this market cross from Shonduck, so they know if an Envy player will be walking all the way up. At this point, Welly is feeling suspect of Envy being towards this A side, has rotated all the way to heaven. It's going to come in on B. Should place for that dash updraft.
Kane triggered. Dexter gets through it though. Glyph now needs to find a nice timing of this paranoia. That's about as good as it gets, folks. God, that is good. Ion here needs to wait. I can switch room. Inspire is in logs. Now Alvin got cleared pretty quickly. Inspire's able to peer out, find a shot, and Acreon is not able to connect that grab net. Ion dodging away from all this util, and there's his 2. He's been bloody brilliant so far in Ascent. And he'll find a 3rd to close a round out. I've got to say now, you're feeling pretty good about Envy. They have wrecked the economy of Ambrosia, gotten 3 rounds, kept the op in hand. Ion with a casual 15 kills after 8 rounds. Cool.
That little sidestep, little maneuver, adjustment to take that second fight against Welly, that was insane. The little micro from him is quite the spectacle. This guy is so talented. Oh, right there, that adjustment to the right. And that was Ambrosia with a great read on the situation too, like having that kill trip for the dash updraft, because they know that Kane has the Blade Storm. It's pretty likely he's going to go for that. They catch him, even things up. Not enough. Not enough.
Cam eventually is removed.
I will say, Ambrosia, they did have a fair amount of success on these eco rounds. A fair amount is an understatement. They were winning unreasonable eco rounds to stay in the game on Sunset. So you can't count them out.
We got in there. Previous game against Burger Boys. Much the same as well. They had to win some shockers. All right, here's Welly. Ion, as good as he's been, not ready for the random walk up through smoke with the sheriff out. I get it. I don't know how many people are conditioned to expect that. Recon taken down. Glyph those out of the game. He was over by Tree. This is a bit of a problem now. The push up here towards Heaven is going to be coming quickly. Well, he's going to activate, and he does. Sees the spike go loose, and now follow it up with an Aldro. And this sets Shondex up on this angle. Backs away. Kane revealed, but he got the spike out.
He's getting, yeah, well, he's got the Hunter's Fury off of that orb. 2 rifles recovered. Extremely winnable.
Look at Inspire. He's in the left here to watch this cross.
Spike planted.
He might actually see this happen. No, he's not on the line. Well, he's going to come across. No armor here on the Sova. Inspire's heard all of this. Oh, but okay, great timing. Inspire knows he has such a slim window to act. And he gets out there before Willie has anything to say about it. Shondex also. No armor. Remember, this is 50 round for Ambrosia. But their odds of winning have dipped drastically with the loss of their Norwegian powerhouse. And Shondex, I love this. You can see Kane's trying to keep him busy. I've seen him win these, folks. I'm going to be real with you. Kane steps up. No attempt to tap the spike. It's all but done. And there it is. Shondex out of the round. Envy, 4 attack side rounds, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down. The money, pretty good, all things considered. And they avert the thrifty that always seems to be looming when you're playing against Ambrosia.
It's so playing against Inspire coded that you have to, in a 2v2 retake, recon Pizza because he's going to be lurking in mid. Like, that is, and the fact that he was there is hilarious. But like you said, he just has the tiniest margin to be able to swing out and get that kill, and he does it.
One enemy remaining.
Now, Willie has been playing so well on this defensive side so far. He wins that 1v1 in A main, recovers the rifle from it. Unfortunately, didn't have an opportunity to actually use the Hunter's Fury that those kills and collecting the orb got him. But I'm sure that'll come into play now on the buy round. I mean, you really don't want Envy getting more than 4. This has to be the stopping point. I think 5, that's already too much. We would need to see a pretty phenomenal attack half from Ambrosia if Envy have 5 rounds heading into their favored side.
Yeah, even if Ambrosia win the pistol, as soon as Kane gets rolling, gets an op in his hands, and bro, he is still stuck on his attack side op. Kane is all about it. We did actually see this. Was it Bonnie that was doing this as well? Or maybe Satellite? I'm unclear. But in that series, we also saw an insistence to play the attack side op. It's a bit weird. Kane's been able to work it. I think he's gone like 5-0 since he's picked that up.
Standing ahead.
So Ambrosia have left their opera over in Wine Satellite with that gate crash all the way towards the B site. We're seeing Envy with the desire to work mid though. Get up cat. Pressure into tree.
Note that he does not have the barrier here in this round. He's a little bit tight on cash, so just a Gravnet thrown out. There is a sonic sensor just ahead of him. You can see that on the map. Okay, crash into the corner. Oh, the paranoia. This pinch could be dastardly. Acreon's able to get out of trouble quickly. It's just extra for now. They've got they're so aware. Ion ready for Satellite there to be tucked in Wine. Now what? Kind of Fury cross map. Running looking for something, anything, and he gets rid of Exter. It will be a plant still going down.
And of course, there's Inspire always looming in the background, ready to find that timing window for the backstab. All of Ambrosia are gathering up in that heaven area. Inspire, matter of fact, he's just going to go play with main, in main rather, double up.
He knows he can't get rid of Poppin. He's on the other side of Gen. Good info, but not enough to secure a kill. And there it is. Kane attack side up, rings out yet again. Walks out into Shondex's crosshair. There's not really any time left for this though. Welly from Heaven. Shondex from Tree. Wait a minute now. This might be more possible. They've got to drop to the side and Poppin is going to rat in this corner. Sees Welly. Bit of damage. And there's Inspire playing from main. Always the last to the fight with the last one standing too. And there's that devastating 5 attack side rounds for Envy.
Ion is just white hot in the server right now. He swings out into A main, wins a 1v1 against Satellite with an AWP in wine. He's just too quick with the shots. And then Envy have a cool little microplay to get into that A site when Exer gets that kill on Anchor, and right there was a paranoia to Jen, and at the same time, he has a gate crash that pops out right next to Jen, so he's just right on the chase to find that kill.
Man, as good as Ambrosia have been, especially on this map at times, Envy just do not let up. The moment you make a mistake, the moment you let them into the game, they latch on. We're going to back out here of A main, though. Ion's done enough, apparently. Shondex deals with Inspire, but he's the loose end. It's Satellite here that's going to be watched. This time the clone doesn't get anything for free, but popping.
Oh, no.
Beautiful headshot.
Still in sight.
Where's that Kane off? Where's that at? Okay, in tree. Akrian hears the cross, doesn't shut the door. Dory coming back to check. He had util in his hand. There is a second player. They're never ready for Ion. So still relatively even footing. Envy definitely advantage now, and over the top comes Kane. Ah, yes, to sprinkle a little bit of magic just when it's needed. And you're walking into that line. Yeah, Kane in the perfect spot to play contact on Welly. And so Shondex has been in this position a lot. So many of these A-side hits he has had to make the rotate here with a door shut in his face, an assortment of useless weapons on the ground, and about 20 seconds to play.
On most of the maps, it's rare we see much Kane opping just because he's playing so much ISO. But then when you get to, he's just as good with the AWP as he is with the rifle. Every time you see him shoot, the reaction time is insane. He is so good at hitting the little micro adjustments as well. When he just needs to flick a little bit to either side. It's just insane to watch this guy. I mean, he is a cut above the entire competition of this league. He is just a cut above everyone.
I don't know, man. This series has definitely made it pretty clear to us. Best of 5 might be over in 3 at this rate. Just too many attack side rounds getting picked up here by Envy.
That was brutal. Not connecting with the judge on the pop in there is really unfortunate.
This brand of Valorant that Envy are playing, we just don't really see anything like it in Challengers. Poppin's capped. So for the rest of the half, which is this round, Envy are cashed up. I don't mind this from Glyph. I think he's a little earlier. He's doing fine there. But ooh, hey, Kane's head popping off. Annihilation. No catch as far as I can tell. Glyph is going for it there. Spray with the Phantom. Gravnet on Envy. They're going to go for it now. Dimensional Drift going to head over into the side. Extra might look to open up an individual opportunity. Glyph has already gotten back up towards heaven now. Smoking hell. And there's a gate crash on the side. I don't know how Extra's supposed to make use of this, but he's in A. Ambrosia is so careful about this. They want to play again off the recon info. Spray that site. Let's see where the plant's going down.
Shondex just broke the trip on the flank, so that's going to have Envy very afraid, and it's good to make Extra feel like he can't actually teleport back. Wow, he just does, okay? He just TP's back into A main, even though there was a flank threat. I mean, I think he had the timing probably to beat the player there, so why not?
Swings door. He sees everything as well. Inspire's got to make use of this info, and again, he's got to go big on the clutch. Here's it, all behind Jen. He's perfectly set up for this. Now it's Shondex in the 1 versus 1. Can he bail them out? That was a little ugly from Inspire. Shondex at least makes it a respectable defense side. We've seen it time and time again. 6 rounds on Ascent deep side is not really enough.
That pathing from Inspire was perfect. He did everything right to win out that clutch. Unfortunately, just a little slow to connect to that shot when Shondex was wrapping around Jen. This was a good fight here in main. Kane Zera got baited in. And there was a really nice grab net thrown down. Got a couple players caught in that corner, so they couldn't actually swing out to trade when Ion was sprayed down. But it just feels like 6. That's not going to be enough for Ambrosia on defense. This is Envy's favored side. It's their favorite side statistically, and even just from the eye test. Ambrosia are going to need to go nuclear right now. They even won the pistol in the first half as well, and that wasn't enough.
I used to say it wouldn't be enough here either.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be enough, but it feels way more necessary for them than it does for Envy to win this.
I mean, their Challenger Stage 2 run depends on it.
And Dan Dryad's prediction of Ambrosia to win this.
He definitely overcooked. Okay, so this barrier will hold for now, and Fire's hit the gate crash, so he knows there's a player close on him. Up, it doesn't care. Swing out. Made a hole in the wall. That's been now dealt with. Came with a spray. Speedway action. Inspire 2 rounds back-to-back with some shoddy aim. It's not quite able to connect. The pressure is certainly high.
Spike planted.
But look how low Glyph, Welly, Shondex all are. They're actually one-shots. There's a paranoia here for Ion. Actually, decent retake scenario here, despite being disadvantaged. And I think this backstab from main, though, could be devastating. Glyph, if he's quick enough, can absolutely catch Envy lacking. Here we go. Ion, double tapped down. Only 2 players left now. Extra and Kane's are in now. They know they're on a timer. To him they go. Take the challenge. Extra with 2 headshots, and Kane wants to fight B main, but he's running out of time. He really needed Extra to find success there, and Akrian has armor to work with as well. Jump across, Kane.
Is nothing.
He'll half it. He's got the stones to do it. Oh man. Akrian times it out perfectly. Gets Ambrosia their second pistol of the map.
100% necessary that they win that pistol round. Great timing from Glyph to get that pick. Really patient in B main, and then just stays alive for long enough that he needs to draw Kane away from, or rather, Kane needs to be drawn away from the fight to deal with him, is how he feels. So despite Eggster getting a 2K on site, he's alone. And then he is eventually traded out, and that's all she wrote for the round. It's going to be a full save for Envy. 5 classics.
Looks like Envy really want to make sure that round 15 they're brought up properly. Okay, Sean next sees the gate crash. It's only extra present on the site, though. I guess Envy really just trying to funnel Ambrosia to A. That if the solo, the player of Yoru is so confident moving into B main like this, surely there's other people to back him up, but I don't think they've really sold that effectively. Ambrosia playing a slow default with no mid presence because they know these classics won't do anything there for the defenders anyway. So it goes, 1 minute.
Take flight.
Jerome is going to get the info on at least 1 player. Everyone else tucked.
I have no info whatsoever, Wyatt. Not a damn thing. I've only seen a gate crashing Yoru. Speaking of which, Extra is set up to make a quick rotate to A in the next few seconds if the hit goes there, but it's not coming. Nope. It's going to be 1 Yoru with no armor in a classic against the Hounds of Hell.
30 seconds left.
Very patient from Ambrosia. 20 seconds now, getting into backside. Extra with it all to do.
Got to go for it. Got to see what he can sort of rustle up. Unfortunately, just a little bit of damage on Akrian. Okay, Kane. All right, got himself a decent weapon. Time is a little bit short. Kane gets back to safety over towards CT. There's still so much to do. It's a veritable mountain to climb now, and weapons and armor aren't great. Kane takes him down to 2.
Remaining.
Finally put to bed. And Ion's recovered the weapon, realizes, okay, better reload this one.
This is a good opportunity.
Can I get myself?
Damage. Yeah, not able to get any though. So that was such a big investment for that anti-eco from Ambrosia. Look at the weaponry that they have that they're now carrying over, but even 1 more of those rifles lost would have had some significance as to the power of this buy.
That would explain the full save in that previous round. Kane immediately, half armor off, picked up. I want to say, like, respectable. Couple of anti-eco kills in this round. Kane's able to manufacture an opening by just diving on a Guardian player inside a smoke. But this is what MV are looking to put together. Defense side op to take contact here towards B main.
Got some presence over towards A main as well, having the Yoru inserted into one, doubled up with Ion. Welly sending this drone through tree, gonna make it seem like Ambrosia have some intentions of working off the space that it's getting, but they're just going into this B split.
Off angle from Poppin. So interesting. Oh yeah, there it is for Kane. They are double stacked on that. Ambrosia now, yeah, a little bit listless. They're going to allow Kane just to tear strips off them, Wyatt. They are not decisive enough in that moment.
Every time you see his point of view with the op, the shots he takes are just so quick. His reaction time is insane. What can you do? You just can't trade him out.
This is obviously the purpose of giving up mid, though. You see the Jet play back towards Switch House and look for the push up. Yeah, Shonnex is like, damn. We lost all the players with actual decent weapons. When he comes, both he and Welly get some Guardians. And of course, you're incentivized to see what you can get on this kind of round. That's not bad from Shondex.
I have retrieved
Actions that rotate from Ion. Now back to mid. 20 seconds left. It might be a playthrough tree, which is not being watched for by Envy. There's a legitimate opening here for Ambrosia, but they got to be quick about it.
Yeah, they definitely know now. Eggster at least does know he wants to hold the cross.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Put that one to bed real quick just before we get ahead of ourselves. So, up, maintain, 2 other rifles behind it. Envy now dealing with the buy round of Ambrosia.
Just want to see how Envy are going to adjust their setup this time. Where are they going to have Kane 0 with that operator, crucially? And this B setup is just very simple, but very effective. I mean, you mentioned Poppin is playing that off angle, which is pretty uncommon, and you just have Kane insta swing after he takes contact to get a trade.
Yeah, trade up there. Pretty happy with that result. Okay,
Second round in a
Eggster.
row. He's just getting into wine straight away.
Okay, Crash is maybe hoping for a little bit more to be drawn out of the attackers, but fight over the A main orb is won by Ambrosia, picked up by Satellite, who's one away from the dimensional drift.
Just patiently waiting to see if there's going to be any action in B main, if anyone was going to push up from Envy. Not going to be the case. You just have Inspire on that site playing relatively passive, watching things in the cam. Because they've given that up, they need to use the drone closer to re-clear some of those close corners.
My ult's
Poppin,
ready.
of course, takes note. Here's that drift now. All picked up. Satellite gets both this round. You can see Ambrosia really playing towards the... Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. That adjustment. That's wild. Getting a little bit hot and heavy, though. Satellite does emerge from the void to find one. And now the Hunter's Fury blasts past Poppin. He doesn't seem to care. He knows he's got to fight for it. Eggster holds the line, but here comes Glyph. That's his third. And it's up to Ion again, who'd have to bail
30
Envy out.
seconds left.
There to find. Here's the plant. Swing out onto the line, and he got rid of Satellite now. It's a bona fide 1 versus 1. Glyph tucked on the site. Ooh, careful, Ion. Actually, it's a one-way for a moment. And here comes Glyph. Both controller players really stepping up to plate in this game, and that gets Ambrosia a little bit of breathing room, but it's a costly round to win.
Insane 4-piece from Glyph. He's had a very standout series. Both prior maps, he was putting up some serious numbers, and they desperately needed him to make that happen. Even in that final moment, he's holding the exact right angle for the swing out from Ion.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, right
You've got
there. He's
Saito.
just so aware where he was going to go from.
This has been quality out of Ambrosia. These some really hard-fought rounds with Envy very quickly trying to get that operator defense side strategy online. They've done well dealing with the volatility of this Envy defense side. To stabilize. That is the game plan. Make use of this, again, attack side op that Satellite was able to scavenge off of Kane 0.
Wants to watch some of those close corners just in case. You never know where Kane might be playing from with the Blade Storm.
Passive spotting towards mid. Ambrosia just biding their time waiting for a push up. Meanwhile, they clear wine. But then they know that no Yoru in that position. I kind of like this from Ion trying to play up close. That Stinger is not going to find any target. All about this market hold. He's going to do it with just the Sheriff. That is rough.
Camera taken out.
He's heard so much here though, Wyatt. Those as 2 players in position. Ben's going to look for this tight corner. Gets it. Down check for the rotate. K might make some noise here. Inspire trying to play up close in the cyber cage, but it's probably going to come down at an inopportune moment. Blade Storm kill from Kane. Gets his one. Mineral theft now going to be popped. This is Ambrosia trying to make sure there's no nasty surprises for them. And that's beautiful from Satellite. Brimming with confidence enough to swing the smoke with the op out. He's got to go for it now, but this is raw mechanical skill and nothing else that he's banking on.
Paranoia comes through, does connect on a 2, but Glyph, he's got that angle.
There it is. Ambrosia now lengthened that lead. Envy had to take a save here. No shame in it. We're probably hoping for a little bit more off that Jet Blade Storm.
Well, they don't actually have the money, Envy, to buy into an operator. Sunder's going to call the timeout now. This is a very pivotal round. Their economy is going to be hanging in the balance. So if Ambrosia win, they should be able to get to 12.
What's the game plan supposed to be now with the dimensional drift earned by Exeter? Ion is, like we've mentioned a few times, amazing first half. But obviously struggled to find the same moments here. There's been a little bit of activity towards his A main. But Ambrosia really are trying to work there. Hang up mid. Trying to get that control, even using that attack side up so they have more confidence to play on such long sight lines of the map. Something that Kane's been had to account for. Clearly he wants to control mid as much as he can, get that op in hand. Satellite does not give it up in that round.
That one round a couple ago where they had that B-side execute from Ambrosia, the one where Satellite popped out with a shorty and then Glyph gets that 4K. That might have been the most important round of this game. I think certainly was up until this point. That's the one where they, I believe, recover the operator, but then also they're just, you know, from there putting Envy economically in such a bad position. All right, let's see how they want to use these ultimates, Envy, to have the Hunter Sphere in the dimensional drift. These obviously work very well together. Condex cam instantly broken. Envy want to control B main. Maybe even push further if this drone didn't spot anyone out, but it does. No, Kane wants to fight this. He's going forward, and he deletes Satellite from the server. Posted up with the AWP, but it doesn't matter. Kane is too fast.
He just walks into the cyber cage as well. He's just asking for more constantly.
You are joking, man. He can't be going for this right now. He wants to get the AWP.
That's my AWP, bro. That is mine. Catch you on the flip side, little bro. Shondex Slayer, I bet you got it, bro. You want it badly, you can have it. And then we're just going to repost up here. What kind of bizarro world have we entered into?
I think if he hits a kill with this AWP, you actually just have to hit the go to the menu, hit the surrender, and yeah, everybody vote FF. Okay, we're fine. Never mind. You can keep playing.
Dropped off the line, but God, look at how this has slowed things down here for Ambrosia. They want to play market. They know that the Pop and Kane Zero combo can hold that off angle. You got to A instead. Nah, your boy Ion's here.
30 seconds left.
I ain't even going to look at my monitor, he says. I'll take 2 off you. It's A main control. That's what a spike is, by the way, for Acreon. No one's going to give him any action. Annihilation time. Does he connect this correctly? He's going to have to guess. And that is a whiff, folks.
One enemy remaining.
What a stupid round. Genuinely, what a ridiculous turn of events. Obviously, the B side locked down completely with Kane just doing only things that he can. And then they run headlong into Ion. He takes a quick double there over towards tree side. It's cooked.
This is a round that just really displays how goddamn annoying it is to play against Envy. Just at some point, one of their players is going to do individually something ridiculous, and you're going to lose because of it. It's why it feels like we can never see, we never see teams actually run back comebacks when playing against Envy, because eventually Kane just does something crazy, and the game is over.
Spike can play off that one way. Buy a little bit of time. So that was just for info. Ion pops from the shadows. Well, you've seen enough here to give Envy a reason to keep this presence over at 8. And once again, it's not that true mid control. Kane, I see. Oh, what is he looking for? Satellite just natty top mid without an op. Poppin picks it up, but there's nothing to be gotten.
That's a really bold peak. Just extends himself into a few too many angles there, really.
I think it's convinced they're walking up behind Aldrin, right? But it is not happening. Completely basic.
He is just baited out there, right? Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Ion already used that from the shadows early, so he can't actually reinforce his position. So, which house is going to be taken up now? Oh, yeah, I'm in 2 is here for Welly. Envy really. They beefed this one a little bit. Pop him with the up, gets his. Flip over towards the side, exit now out of the dimensional drift in Boathouse. He's got it to himself by the looks of things. And that's a great kill to find on Glyph. He can build on this further. Shonex doesn't really give him any time to settle in. I can't believe Ion's being asked to do this yet again. Too much to ask for. And Envy's vaunted defense side looks pretty shoddy right about now. Because they've only found, what, 3 defense side rounds? 2?
Oh, yeah, only 2, and their economy's about to be in a bad position. Are they going to force this, or do they want to play for OT? That is a question on their minds right now. They do have a Hunter's Fury to play around. But, I mean, yeah, you're right. That Owl drone coming out from tiles, Kane thought that he could pick up the angle after it expired, but was just baited into satellite top Cat, who was just waiting for our peak to come. And now, op recovered, it's thrown back to the attacking duelist. Satellite with that in his hands, hoping that someone on Envy will offer themselves up.
3-round deficit, Envy forced down onto a half buy.
I mean, a weird buy, not even a half, a partial force. Kane has fully bought into this. They have 2 hero rifles for Kane and Inspire, pistols for everyone else, and the Hunter's Fury. So they're hoping that Kane can find a kill. Then Poppin could use the Hunter's Fury at a pivotal point in the round after that. Maybe while someone is trying to plant the spike. Inspire has the rifle to anchor A side where he has kill trips set up. So they basically got this in a situation where, you know, either site you hit, they have someone with a rifle that they're hoping is going to step up. But then if they lose this round on the next one, I mean, Kane's nowhere near a Blade Storm. It's going to be awkward.
Well, he is committed here. Okay. That's Tailwind. Is there a way you can find a timing here? Satellite caught out. Oh, surely X, that would be such a high value elimination. No, Satellite's able to bring him down, but Ion, of course, yeah, classic. Yep, very reasonable. Yep, very expected turn of events. 2 rifles still in play. Kane says thank you.
He's going in.
Punished for it. Sean Nex is like, at this point, bro, I'm ready for anything. Anything.
I mean, 19 seconds left, and because of all of that presence from players over on B, they feel like, well, I guess we have to go A. Inspire is, he's just chilling. He's absolutely chilling. He's got the kill trips.
He's just up. Well, he had to go for it now. He's sticking. Oh, my goodness.
You think I don't know
how Ambrosia let this one fall apart, Envy. It's a weird partial buy. 2 rifles brought into the round. They're finding kills with classics in B main. What are we watching?
I respect it from Poppin. When the Owl drone is being used to clear into B main, he's got the Hunter's Fury. Screw it. I mean, we're basically playing to this round as 2 hero rifles plus Hunter's Fury. Let's find a good time to use them. Feels like as good a time as any. Just lets the Hunter's Fury rip into main. Eggster and Ion, they know that that's their moment to try and fight. They swing in.
He gets a kill and lights Akrian up as well. Rather, no, kills Akrian, lights up another player. So it's an easy kill for Kane. One of the most impactful Hunter's Furies I've seen in a hot minute. That was devastating.
Ambrosia on an eco. And they're trying to do something similar. And Satellite's like, all right, bet I'll just buy down to 0. Have a hero rifle on this one.
Hearing this, Kane can be drawn back over to watch short. Watch that push up mid. No op in the hands of Envy though, so not quite the same round, but we're going to double back. Gate crash here over towards CT side, and also being checked for by Pop, and there's Kane. Always hovering around this direction. So hard to get your crosshair lined up adequately. Gravnet here. Unclear to really see what the idea was, and his exit, yeah, punish on decks, that's the plan. Remember, that was the rifle player Satellite falling. Look where it is. It's unrecoverable.
Akron just slowly backing out of mid. He is the man holding the spike. Doesn't want to drop that. Grouping up with the rest of the team. They want to get into this split on A.
30 seconds left.
But not only do they have to deal with Ion and the kill trips, but just have Inspire just waiting in hell. Breaking the glass, that's going to just give everything away.
Okay. Pressure though. Ion is really going to be feeling it now. Tries to back away. Cyber cage there for him to fall back to. Gravnet caught on. He's going to pull it out. Inspire waiting for the drop down. It's definitely going to come on his right. Here comes Poppin getting into the fight. Inspire works him down. And there's Akrian out of it. Envy. Survival could have been a bit of a scary round with 4 rifles. So that economy now starting to churn over. They'll have a gun back in Poppin's hands. No worries. And we saw what happened on Sunset. Envy had to come alive at the tail end of these games. And Kane Zira has that op to hand finally.
Just looking at the buy on that prior round, remember Satellite bought down to 0 to get that hero rifle on the eco and was immediately dismantled by Kane, just holding that angle into market. Welly is looking stressed on the left. But now into this round, Satellite has the dimensional drift and can only afford a Bucky. So you know what the game plan is. You know what they're about to be going for as far as that goes.
Locked in. Oh, both sides locked in. Yeah, Welly definitely feeling the pressure now. Envy are really snapping at the heels. Damn, bro, you're never going to take that plastic cover off?
I was thinking the same thing.
It's like that.
Keep that fresh.
Yes, that's bubbling up though, isn't it? See, there's a fine line.
It's keeping
Eventually-
the Jordans in the box, bro. He's
kind of-
not letting them collect dust, nothing.
I get it. Screen protectors, same thing. I respect it. It's getting a little bubbly, you know what I'm saying? I guess he never has to look at them. We do. 23-15 Ion. Oni's been out already. Look, he's had some pretty important involvements in this half, but I think he's found like 8 kills. Something to that effect. Definitely a bit harder for him to run away with the game, but we talked about it. Kane was going to try and get an operator in his hands as early as possible on this defense side, and now here come MB looking to tie up the game. But because Satellite made that hero rifle play, Wyatt, he's down to a Bucky.
Who's next?
All right, A split is going to be the plan. Gate crash with this dimensional drift. Satellite going through tree. Wants to spot out specifically Inspire, who has been such a nuisance anchoring on this site, and he wants to find a time to get out with the Bucky, and he does convert.
And Fire's going to go after him though. Says, no, I'm fighting you quite happily. Neural Theft is going to be highly illuminating here, and 2 players spotted behind Jen. Inspire can go to work on them. 3 for the round has to be enough. Kane extra load. Knows there's a player A main. No plant get though. So committed is Shondex to the side. He doesn't really have realistically a way out. I like this recon, but X is going to be there to clear it. In fact, it whiffs. They're not going to be affected by it. Spike is down. Shondex was able to plant amidst that chaos. Welly now has to operate from mate. No, wait, you can't let that happen. You cannot, Shondex. X is able to drop down. And he finds that kill whipping 180. Now eyes would be on main. Kane expecting the off angle. He's going to have to make a correction here. He's going to have to be snappy with it. Here he comes, Welly. He can't get it done. Economically broken or Ambrosia and Envy have evened up the game. Extra, the GOAT. Ridiculous turnaround to whip on that Hell player.
It feels like there is absolutely no reason he should be getting that kill. Is not favored in absolutely any way. Shondex needed that. Whiffs. But for me, before that, the hero of the round, it is Inspire. This is multiple rounds in a row now where his setups on this A site have absolutely cooked Ambrosia. Even after getting the entry with the Bucky, which was their intention coming into this round, dimensional drift into the shotgun, he just drops back down, gets an unreal multi-kill. Inspire's defensive half has been so fantastic. Now he's swapped the setup over to B. Just thinking, you guys have had enough of running into A probably now, right? All right, let me go pivot that over to B. But it looks like Ambrosia want to go back to the well. They're fighting in a tree. They're droning through A main. It's time for a split.
Ions had the raw stopping power here in 3. This round, though, he is just blown away. Up and playing close. That should be a kill for him. For some reason, Kane's attention getting dragged over towards 3. He still finds the kill. Alive on the side still. Getting tagged down, though. Pressured. Up close. Satellite's looking for him, and eventually Actrian gets rid of him. 3 now up for the defenders. Poppin trying to get his way through door, but this is awkward for Envy. And X is not aware of the A main player watching. Envy's starting to build up a head of steam, but it might all come down in a screaming heat. Poppin doesn't know where to be looking. Inspire has to find another 3K. This time, with his position mostly noted by the attackers, and the Sonic Sensors here on the Heaven side. He's going to trip them.
He's only got 2 options. It's either door or Heaven. He has to clear a double sack in Hell. That is going to be nearly impossible. Easy for the players to just swing for each other. And an insurance policy in main with Welly just biding his time.
1. Oh, yeah. Sonic Sense is going to eat him up. And there it is, Ambrosia. Fighting for their very lives in this series. Have taken it to map point. Envy are in a weird spot, money-wise. Can distribute some form, I suppose, of relief. The Satellite is the one who's picked up the op, and you better believe he's going to make use of it on this attack side.
Feels a lot better to hit this A site when you're not dealing with multiple kill trips and bizarre little cages everywhere. And Inspire just ratting around the backside.
This should do.
It was a clean look that time.
goes here.
And really the best opportunity for anchoring was when we saw Poppin's point of view in that smoke. It looked like he was going to get a free kill, but a pop flash into it blinded him up.
It's all for Kane.
Oh, that's a whiff.
Showed himself for a second. The shot came in from Tiles, of course, and Ion says, a TP across here kind of loses his nerve. Doesn't want to hang around.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel safe there. And Ambrosia, they now want to work their way up mid. Clone running deep, doesn't run into a trip. Now Satellite's
This is known. They're going to have access to the B side. I don't hate the gate crash over towards defense side spawn. Kane Jira has to find value with these knives. God, he is so close up. He goes! Satellite spotted. That's one. Good start. Annihilation popped. No catch. Here's Poppin off angle. Weird one inside B main. And now Envy always seem to come home when it counts.
Spike down B.
Call him Beef Welly because he's about to get devoured. Pour her up here for Envy. And it's Kane Zero finishing the job with a flourish. Once more, we are headed to overtime.
Kane just able to updraft up, catch the last player that was making their way into market so no one could actually trade onto him. That was excellent. But in addition to that, Envy's decision to double stack up in B main to isolate a couple of the players there while the majority were going through mid. You can see on the minimap, yeah, it's Eggster, it's Poppin, fighting there together. I love the way that they were able to position themselves. That's going to get them into OT. Both sides buying glass cannon operators right now. And of course, you're going to have Willie with the Odin every single time playing towards B. And this setup for Ambrosia is a little bit more static, whereas Poppin is really mixing it up on defense. Ambrosia just feel so confident in this Willie Shondex duo locking down the B site.
For good reason. They were very, very hard to shift. But Envy ended up getting way more attack side rounds than they were expected to. And geez, Inspire's already gotten rid of that cam. That is pretty big. Now you can syncopate your push, take a beat.
And that's your satellite over.
Satellite.
He teleported very early. He was posted up at Wine, which is now being occupied by Glyph.
He doesn't want to be dragged to the B side, I think, by just a Cypher. I think we're at any other agent. Perhaps he stays there over towards defense side spawn. Acrian, of course, playing this very tight angle, but he's just seen the gate crash go past him. Has to clear that, but would mean he'd have to repost on the angle, which is too dangerous now. Grabnet to buy a bit of time. And Glyph is in Wine. Pretty good A-side setup. And so Envy looking elsewhere. Now back over towards Market. Satellite is watching this from spawn. Smoked off, though, and here comes the push from Envy.
Gate crash, teleport in. Welly going to be under a lot of pressure here. Backside, they do have some trips to play around.
Brilliant. That is brilliant from Satellite. What an important kill to take. Kane's pushed up. And of course he is. Poppin goes down. Shondex caught in the corner. Kane eventually gets the better of Satellite at close range. But boy, howdy, do you have some work to do now. Kane v3. Odds on any other day I'd take, but this is the two best teams in Challengers NA.
10 seconds left.
Unspotted, but Kane has to just jiggle on this corner. Time to plant, sure, but you know they're coming for him. BP to sight. Too much for Kane to get done. And so Ambrosia win this first round of overtime, putting Envy back onto defense. A half where, honestly, they struggled.
In that first half, there were a lot of moments where Envy were able to drag Welly off of B. He was making a lot of rotates towards that A heaven side off some light pressure. Envy were trying to get that accomplished there again when they were sending that clone into tree, but then the rotate was never called. Welly stayed on this site with Shondex the entire time.
10 seconds left.
They just never made the adjustment. And then Satellite was able to pick up one player while the hit was coming in. They still have the two backside with the trips. Ambrosia just steadfast in their approach there.
This is it. Map point now for Ambrosia. This is the pick of Envy. And they've been so good on Ascent. Kane almost dropping 30 in regulation. It's the 26 after that last round now as we head into round number 26.
Now we've got multiple kill trips on this A site from Inspire. This is his bread and butter. He got many multi-kills anchoring in situations just like this at the tail end of the half.
Those troops being cleared, but just a wealth of information now going in the direction of the defenders that we can see. Dematic Satellite has already gotten in. Inspire has to do some of this brilliant anchoring that we see from him in the past, but it's all falling apart for MB. They're out of gas. It's been a long map, long series, and it's about to get longer, folks. Coven has to try and break his way through either the barrier or the door. Gets himself up to heaven and will be put out of his misery. A flawless round from Ambrosia to end the map, and a really, genuinely surprising result. After dropping that sunset map, we thought it was over for these guys, but that is raw grit and tenacity as they keep this best of 5 alive.